Hey, hello everybody, and Happy New Year. Oh, wow. Let's see. Hey, we have to wait like 4 to 5 minutes. By the way, today's topic is about calendars, how we can use that to our advantage. And we will be talking how we can use the calendar functionality within here to book our calls and to book our um classes and all the events, webinar, and all those things. Sorry, I got distracted. And just give me 1 second. Let me check, and then we'll start. There we go. So today is events automations. Yes, so that is first, and yeah, let me bring this in here. Badri is also coming in. So we're gonna just wait 2 or 3 minutes more and then we'll start. Okay. One more minute and exactly at 5 minutes we'll start. Okay, let me share my screen. There we go. Okay. Okay. So within this CRM, you're quite familiar that we have the calendar functionality in here, which can be used to manage your appointments and all the schedules. So this is where under the dashboard, you'll see the calendars in here. When you select that, you have to select your user and it will show you any appointment that is happening with you. And this is where you can see different types of different calendars which are going to be used by you for different types of appointments, like classes, like webinars, like one-to-one, or any such thing. So you can select, like, let's say if I select this 60-minute calendar, it will show any appointment that is booked on this particular calendar. And then if you are using any type of group calendars, you can go and see their view in here as well. Now, to synchronize these calendars with your existing calendar, you can always go to calendars in the settings, and then in the connections, you can add different types of calendar to be synchronized with. We can synchronize our in-app calendar with 4 different services: Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, or Office 365 Calendar, and iCloud or Apple Calendar. And also, if you're using any type of service from Calendly, then you can use that as well to synchronize them. And to connect them, it's kind of very easy. You can click on the connect button, and then it will tell you to log into that particular account and give it access. And that's about it. Right now, for this particular account, we have already connected it and synchronized it. But this is where you can like synchronize and your different calendars. Also, one other place that you would see is under my profile. And in my profile, if you scroll down, you have this area as well. This is again where you can connect your different calendar services for the synchronization. Again, the same places: Google, Outlook, iCloud, and Calendly. You can use either one of them to synchronize your calendar. Right now, this one is getting synchronized with this particular account, and and another Google account is also added in here, and that is used for checking in for any conflict with the appointment. Now, this is like the basic introduction about how we can use this calendar feature within the application to synchronize our different types of appointment. Now let's go in detail what are different types of calendars. So right now, within under the settings in calendars, you see there are 4 different buttons in here: calendars, group calendar, service menu, what type of service you are doing, any rooms that you want to create, and any equipment that you want to attach with any particular calendar. Like if you're running a construction business and you have one of the machines that has to be used on one particular type of calendar or an appointment, you can create that equipment in here. That way you can keep track where your equipment is by the help of the calendar features in here. On the top, we have again 4 buttons. One is the preference, what type of meeting location by default is being used, and is there any account preference, when should he be working, what is the language, how should the time be displayed, and when should our week be started. Then there is the availability. When are you available to your business? Now, this one is very, very important in here, because if you're not available to your business at a particular time and you want your customer to book an appointment at that particular time, it won't let them book the meeting because the system recognizes you're not available. Like, let's say, for this particular example, we are only available between Monday to Friday, 24 hours. But if we want to book a meeting on Saturday, it won't let us book any meeting on the Saturday because you're not available to your business on Saturday. So in my profile, under your availability, right here, this is where you tell the CRM when are you available to your business. If you're saying you're only available between Monday to Friday, know that your customer or leads or contacts cannot book you on Saturday and Sunday because you're not available. Also, always set your availability in the daytime as well. Like, when do you start your day, when do you end your day, and then click update availability. This particular time and days actually controls your availability for your calendars. Okay. Now let's go back to the calendars and let's go to the connections. This is where you can synchronize your existing calendars. Just like in my profile, this is where you can synchronize them, that there is video conferencing. If you're using any type of software like Zoom or Google Meet, you can attach those accounts in here. And if there is what should be happening with the Google organic booking and local services ad, if you are using that, you can connect them in here as well. Now let's get to the calendars and let's create our very first calendar. When you click on create a calendar, it has 6 different types of calendars. So for personal booking calendar, that means your customer is going to schedule one-to-one call with you with one particular person. Let's assume that you are running a big team of person and who all are taking appointments or meetings. Then for the personal booking, you will create different calendars for each of those persons. So let's say if your company has 3 different person taking up the appointment, so you will need to create 3 different personal calendars for person A, person B, and person C. Then comes another type of calendar that is called the round robin type calendar, where one calendar is used for one particular task, but that particular task is then divided among the different team members. So let's say you have like 3 different people. Again, we are selecting 3 different people, and they all are doing like the sales call, for example. And what happens is you can create a sales calendar and add all 3 of them, your team members in the calendar. And what happens is if one person is not available and customer requests that time, it will automatically give that meeting to the second person who is available at that time and date slot. Okay. Then the third type of calendar that is there is the class booking calendar. So this is for a person where one person is host, that is you, and there can be more than one person can join, just like you guys have joined me. So if we want to schedule this using the calendar, what we do is class booking calendar would be used, because there will be one person who is like giving you the instruction or the training, and a lot of people would be joining. That is considered as online class management. You can use that to manage your classes. Then there is a collective booking calendar. So for this, there are more than one person from the host side. So let's assume that one of my colleagues join us. Now there would be 2 hosts because there are 2 experts who are going to talk about it, and there are multiple people joining them. So for that type of appointment, you can use the collective booking calendar. Then below that is the event calendar that is used for the webinars. And the last one is the service calendar, which is used for any services. Remember, we were talking about how we can create the room and equipment. So to utilize those equipment type of calendar, you need to create that booking type calendar. Okay. You can create the calendar by clicking on the create calendar button in here. And now let's see this one particular type of calendar. Anytime you create a calendar, it will be listed in here under the settings in calendars. You can click on the 3 dots and click on edit. Now, for any calendar, you will see 5 different areas. That's where you can configure the different options for the calendar, like what is the calendar logo. You can upload the logo in here. You can change the name of that calendar, any description about that calendar, which group it is in, and what is the URL for that calendar. Also, meeting invite title, what should be that one, and what type of calendar it is. Now we are looking at round robin calendar where there can be more than one person from your team can be added to take meetings. So right now it is selected as optimized for availability. That means the host will be selected on the basis of the availability, first come, first serve, and optimized for equal distribution means the distribution among the team members, the number of meetings that is distributed among the team members would be equal. So let's say you're running a sales team. Now your leads are booking up. So in that scenario, you want your sales to be divided equally in your sales team. So you would use optimize for equal distribution. But if you're running a different type of calls, like maybe a tech call or support call where you are supporting your customer, then obviously the first available slot should be available to your customer. In that case, optimize for availability is your option. And then the next box is you have to tell them which team members or your staff members are going to be part of that calendar. And remember, because this is a round robin type calendar, so you have to add at least one team member so that calendar can be activated. So let's say I'm adding help desk, and let's add Adam test and test. So these are the team members that we are adding. Now when you add any team member, it will automatically show them in here. Now you're telling them how many meetings should help desk get, how many meetings gonna be going to Adam, and how many are going to the medium tester. So now when I set the high priority on the help desk, what happened is most of the meetings will be booked with help desk user, and lowest meeting would be booked with the Adam, and medium, that means it would be equally distributed among tester and help desk. In the advanced setting, you can actually set up the rescheduling preference. Do you want them to have that or not? And what should happen for the new appointment? You can set up those ones and you can click on apply. Then in the bottom, you see the color of the calendar. You can select that, and you can, like, when you click on save, now it will take you to the next step. That is how we can define the availability. Then the third step is forms and payments, and then notification and additional options. And the last step is obviously the customization, any custom customization that you want to do on your calendar. Now, before I proceed, let me show you how a calendar looks like. So let me grab this calendar link and let me show you. So this is how your calendar would look to your customer. Oh my goodness, that is interesting. Okay, let me try it one more time. There we go. Sorry, I picked up the wrong link. Now in here, those things which we were setting up, like the name, the logo, and all those things, and then how many people are joining. So this is where the logo of the calendar will show up. What is the name of the calendar, who are joining it, how much duration for any meeting, and when is the nearest availability for that particular will be shown in here, and any description that will be shown in here. Now on the right side, you see this calendar, you select the date and then the time for that particular one. In the bottom, you see it is telling you if you are from a different time zone. Because I am from the PST time zone, Los Angeles, so it is showing the PST time zone. But for your customer, if they are using it from like anywhere in the world, it will automatically detect their time zone. But the option is given to change any time zone. Maybe we want to change it to maybe, let me select something from here. Like this one, Brussels. Your customer is from Brussels, then he can select his correct time zone, select the date and time, and it automatically changed the timing available slot. Let's select that. Then the next step is your customer is going to fill out this form, and at the end of this form, okay, just give me 1 second. At the end of this form, when they click on schedule meeting, it will book an appointment with yourself. Your customer has now booked an appointment with you. Okay, now let's get back to the round robin calendar that we were talking about. Now, first step is complete. We have set out all the things that we needed, and when we click save, it will automatically take us to the availability in here. This is where you can tell it when are you available for this calendar only. And remember, guys, if you set anything outside your availability to your business, then that time will override and you won't be available. Okay. So in here, I selected the time for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5 to, and now here you see, this is my mistake. It is selected as 1 a.m. It should be something after that. So let's tell it that I would be available till, okay. Now let me select this one, p.m., and I'm gonna select like 8 p.m. If I select the correct time, now it makes me available. Before that, I wasn't available because that was not the correct time within 1 day. Now, in here, you can set up the time that you're willing to take the appointment. Then if you scroll down, what should happen when somebody books a slot, book a call with you, or book an appointment with you? Should it make you look busy, or what should happen? This is for that. Is that type of the meeting, is that recurring? How many times it's gonna repeat? Every day, weekly, monthly, or any custom scheduling that you want. You can tell it the number of time it's gonna repeat. This is very good when you're using the class type booking. Okay. And if the if the slot for that particular time is not available, then what should happen? Should it skip the booking, or should it continue booking, or book the next available slot? You will select that accordingly. Now, under that is the most important part of setting up any calendar. What is the timing, duration, buffer, post buffer, or pre-buffer time for any appointment? So the very first question is interval. Between the intervals, so whenever you want to see this, you have the information box in here, which is giving us the description. Meeting interval reflects the amount of time the between booking slots, and that will be shown in the calendar. So in the calendar widget, if you set it like 30 minutes, like just now in here, so it's going to open up the slot from, let's say, starting 5 a.m. Then the next open slot is going to be 5:30, because you're telling it that the next interval is going to be the 30. So it's going to open all the slots that are from starting from the hour and ending at the after 30 minutes. Okay. So all the slots, so it's 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, so on and so forth. It will be like that. And now the next box it is asking for is how much is the duration of that meeting? Is it in hours or in minutes? And how much duration the meeting is happening? So with the meeting interval set as 30 minutes, so it's going to open the slots 5 and 5:30. But the total meeting time that it's going to block on your calendar is for 20 minutes. Now you have 10 minutes in each meeting, so you could prepare for the next meeting. Okay. Now, the next thing is minimum scheduling notice. So, how soon should any customer be able to book with you? For our example, it is selected as minimum scheduling notice is 2 hours. So the earliest possible slot that even if I'm available, it's going to open is after 2 hours. So I'm available after 1 hour. After this class, I'm available. But because in my calendar, I have set it as minimum scheduling notice to 2 hours, it won't open the next hour for your customer to book a meeting with you. So people usually like to do it like a few hours. What I recommend is like 6 hours or at least a day. But according to your preference, in here you can select hours, days, weeks, months, whatever is good for you. You can select that and put in that value. Then comes the date range. Now, date range meaning how much availability slot should be open for your customer. So, like if any person got my calendar and he books a meeting for March, that doesn't come very suitable for me. Maybe I'm going on vacation in the March. So, how long should my days would be available for any person to book? Right now in here, it's showing the 10 days. So that means for next 10 days, my calendar would be open for the booking to the person so that he could book in within those 10 days. The 11th day, it would show it as unavailable. So if I want to go on vacation or I want to take off, I have like 10 days buffer time with me. I can set it on the 11th day as unavailable, and the calendar will automatically detect that I'm not available on the 11th day. And then when the next date moves, it will automatically make me unavailable. And now I can enjoy my off time without worrying that, oh, somebody booked a meeting. Even though I am on off, I have to take that meeting. So the date range comes in handy for that thing. Again, the date range doesn't have hours. It has only days, weeks, and months. Okay. The next one is how many bookings for this particular calendar you want to take per day. If you leave it empty, that means they can book as many meetings as they like. But if you set like number of bookings I want to take every day for this particular type of service is 2, for example, even though I'm available today to take my third appointment, because the maximum bookings per day I have set it to 2, it will make me unavailable for rest of the day within this calendar. That way I don't have like overwhelming number of calls booked within one day. So I could do other tasks. Like maybe I'm conducting a classes. Maybe I'm also doing the one-to-one session and a tech session. So how many tech sessions do I need to take per day as a maximum? I don't want my tech session to be booked like 10 within the whole day. And now there is no more time for me to book one-to-one session or my class session. So the number of maximum bookings per day, you can set them in here. Again, this information mark is telling you exactly the same thing that I'm explaining you in here. Maximum number of appointment permitted per day on this calendar. In the start, I told you there are different types of calendar, and we use those types of calendar to schedule and maintain different types of booking. Okay. Now give me a few seconds and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Up till now, have you got the features of the calendar understood? And if you have any question, please do ask them. Unmute yourself. You can ask them, or you can type in the chat, and I will answer them right away. So I don't want any confusion in this particular feature when you're trying to set up the calendars. Okay. So till now, we have discussed how many maximum booking per slot. Maximum booking per day. Now, the next thing is how many bookings can be booked with one person and how many person are going to join. So with me, it's a one-to-one session, so I'm expecting one person to join me from the other side. Now, if I want, like, let's say I'm having a meeting with a company or a business, then I want them to have their maybe management join with us. In that scenario, I will be increasing the number of person that can have the same booking slot from the same company to be invited. So let's say your customer is booking and he want to bring in his assistant as well for the booking, for the meeting, then you can increase the number of booking in here. And again, the information mark is telling us the maximum number of appointment permitted per slot for the user. If the number of appointment exceed the given slot for the user means that's you. Then it's either switches over to the next user in the round robin or marks the slot unavailable for the prospect to book. So that's how it's gonna happen. Then next two times are pre-buffer time and post-buffer time. Pre-buffer time, it is the time in minutes or hours before the meeting should it make you unavailable. And post buffer time is after the meeting time, like the duration 20 minutes, how much minutes should it make you unavailable? You can put it in here. For this particular example, it's going to show like 5 a.m., then 5:30, 20 minutes booking and 10 minutes buffer time. It's working correctly. But let's say I put this as 20 minutes. Now 20 minutes booking meaning duration, and 20 minutes is my post buffer time. Now the 5:30 slot is not going to open because after 20 minutes, I am not available for next 20 minutes. So the closest slot, as per the 30-minute timing meeting interval, it's going to open 5 and then 6. It's not going to open the 5:30, which we want. So pre and post buffer time impacts how much time you are unavailable before and after the duration of the meeting. Okay. Once you have set up all these, click save and you will be taken to the next step, and that is where you will find forms and payments. So form. When I was showing you the calendar, we filled out a form after selecting date and time that is collecting the information from your customer or user to be added in your calendar to tell you that this is the person who has booked with you. So with that, you can use the default form and you can create your own particular forms to be used in here. Maybe you want to collect some unique information. The default form is asking, let me select you that one. Where is the default? Let me show you first the default form. Okay, let me. Yeah. So the default form is asking for first name, last name, email, phone number, and a notes box. So those 5 questions: first name, last name, email, phone, and notes. But if you want to ask any other question during the booking time and you want to make sure that that information is available to you, like maybe their address or maybe their city, then you can create your own form and select it in here. Let's say, let's select the demo form. And now it's going to ask all the questions that are on the demo form. Okay. Next, how it's gonna present the form. Should it come after they have selected the date and time, and then it's asking your customer to fill out the form, or should it come, the form needs to be filled out first, and then they have to fill out the date and time. So you can drag this and make it work like that. Okay, let me select the default one and let me do that. And okay, now if you want, you can use the pre-populate fields. Now sticky contacts can be turned on. We discussed the sticky contacts in detail when we were talking about forms. So sticky contacts mean a person who used this particular device, computer tab, to book a meeting, the computer saves the little data in form of cookies in their computer. So do you want that to be filled out in the form automatically for them, or you want them to fill out the form data again and again every time they are booking? And then below that, do you want the form to have the consent checkbox there? And what should be the message in the checkbox? So this is like the default one is I confirm that I want to receive content from this company using my contact information that I have provided. You can put up your own consent form wording in there. Essentially, this is for like within the US, what happens is we cannot send anyone SMS unless we have their prior consent. If they don't give us the consent to send them the message, then we cannot send any person any message. So consent checkbox comes in handy in those scenarios. Check your country's legal documentation for this particular thing, consent checkbox. Now, do you want them to give your customer to add a guest? What should be collected for any guest that they are adding, and how many number of guests they can add? You can enable that. What should be the confirmation page? Should it direct to some sort of funnel or website page, or should it just say thank you? You can tell it that one. Right now we have selected this one for this particular calendar. Let me see if we have this page even. So there you go. It will, after they have successfully booked an appointment with us, it's going to open up this page for them, and they can see that and close that. Now this one, Facebook Pixel ID, you can put this in here, and the Facebook Pixel will track the booking that is happening using this calendar widget. Now the next part is very, very important. Auto confirm new calendar meeting. If somebody schedules an appointment with you, should it be confirmed, or do you want to approve that meeting to confirm? So this is for that. If we turn on auto confirm, that means any meeting that is booked with you successfully, like selecting date and time and then filling out the form, will be considered as confirmed meeting. If we turn it off, then it will notify you that a person has booked. Do you want to confirm that meeting or not? And this is where you're gonna enable or disable according to your preference. Next step is if you want to collect payment from your customer at the time of the booking. Maybe it's a booking where people has to pay you some money to talk to you. Like for example, paid time support. Now, if you want that, then you can enable accept payment and tell it how much money they are going to pay us. And what happens is after the form filling, it will, within the form, it will ask the money, and they have to pay us using their credit card or debit card. Unless they pay, the meeting will not be confirmed. And you can type in the description, because you are asking for some money from your customer, so you can type in some description to let them know why you are asking for the money. And if they don't pay you, then it will not confirm their booking, and obviously that will happen. And this can be recurring appointment payment, if this is a recurring type of meeting, do you want to collect the money at every meeting time? Do you want to collect it all at the same time or for all appointment all together? You can do that. So according to that, basically what option you have selected in here, the system will charge that amount, which will be according to what options you have selected in here. Okay. Then for obviously when we are creating any payment engine, then we are asking for the payment, we have to test it or make it live so we could actually experience it ourselves on the testing phase, how our customer is going to experience that. And once that is done, then again, you will click save and you will be taken to the next step that is called the notification and additional options. So in here, you can set up what should happen when they have unconfirmed booking. Should they receive some sort of notification? What type of notification? And who is getting that notification? If you click on this pencil icon, if we select the contact, that is the person who booked the appointment. If we select assigned user, that means the person whom the meeting is booked with. Any additional email addresses, you can tell it that one. And what should happen in the in-app, should it go to one particular person or should it go to the assigned user, whomever the meeting is booked with? Because this is a round robin type calendar. That means there could be more than one person that is going to host the meeting. So if it is booked with me, my name is David. If the meeting is booked with me, then the notification should only come to me, not to my colleague John for that matter. So in here, you can set up what should happen for the appointment book status is unconfirmed. What should happen when the booking status is confirmed? If they cancel the meeting, what should happen? If they reschedule a meeting, what should happen? And how many reminders and what type of reminders should go and where should they be going to? Right now, I have disabled this because I'm not sending the reminders through here. I want to send them through the automation. I'll show you that process also. And then do you want any follow-up message? So the follow-up message is for that after the meeting, you want to send them like a review request. Maybe you want your customers to fill out a review, a Google review, or maybe somewhere to review what happened in the meeting. Are they satisfied or not? You can enable that one as well. And then you can allow this check mark is allow Google Outlook Calendar to send invitation and update emails to the attendees. Usually I recommend not to enable this, but if you want to use this feature, you can enable them. And what should happen to the person, the team member? Should he be assigned to the contacts? Now this comes in handy because in the user security, we can enable that only show assigned data to the user. And if we don't allow it in here, then the person who has booked a meeting, let's assume a person has booked a meeting with me in here. And could you give me 1 second? Okay, so if we haven't enabled it and I'm in my security setting, it is enabled as only assign the data, then I cannot see the contacts, so I won't be able to see who booked a meeting with me. So it comes according to what you have set up in my staff security profile. You have to enable or disable this. And then do you want them, the person who has booked the meeting, do you want them to reschedule the meeting? Do you want them to cancel the meeting? And what should be the canceling link could be expired to? Like if my slot is booked for tomorrow, I don't want anyone to cancel a meeting like today. I want them to book day before yesterday. So I would know that my slot would be empty, and so anybody else could book that. So I don't want my slot to go wasted. So according to that, you can enable that. And if you disable this, then that box automatically goes away. Remember, it only appears when you allow the cancellation. Same goes for the rescheduling. If you enable that, how soon they can reschedule, how long the rescheduling link would be available to them. After that, even though they are clicking the correct link, it won't let them reschedule. So these are for that. And what should be the additional notes that are going to be sent to the person in the form of the notification? That's what you can set up in here. After you have set all these settings, then you will be going to the customization. What is going to be the cover image? What is the theme of the like the visual theme of the calendar? We can select the classic or neo. Those are the two right now that are available. What is the primary colors, the background color, the text color? What should be visible on the calendar? Title, calendar description, calendar details. You can turn on and off, and it will show them accordingly. You have the preview widget button in here to see the changes that you have made, and any custom code that you want to insert in the calendar, you can put it there. And do you want the person who is booking, should they be able to select the staff member, or the system should select the staff member? So let's say there is me, like David, and there is John. We are two staff members. Do you want your customer to select whom they want to have a meeting with David, or maybe with John? Or should the system divide the meeting among David and John, and we can do that? Okay. So according to that, this, once you have set it up completely, then you can see the calendar settings. Like let's say, let's select this calendar, and whatever you have put up in the settings, it will this is what your users are going to experience. Like the time slot, let's say I select 7:30, which form it is gonna. So this form here, you can see it has a lot of questions, because this is the form that is attached with this particular calendar. If we enable the payments, this is where the system will ask them for payments. Okay. Now, remember, guys, we were talking about how we can send the reminders. We can send the reminders using the calendar widget. Also, we can create a very tiny, let me select workflow. Let me go to the page 13. Let's select this one. And now we are creating an appointment reminder workflow. So I'm going to tell it like appointment, customer booked an appointment. I'm going to tell it in my calendar, select this is the one that we were looking at. And okay, that's, so I just told it if a person has confirmed booked a meeting with me, then it's gonna, the confirmation is being sent through the calendar. But 2 days before, I want them to receive 2 days before a reminder that their meeting is coming up. And I'm gonna call it wait 2 days before. Oh my goodness. And then I'm gonna send them an email. We do it an appointment time. And something in here, save. And again, I'm gonna tell it that 1 day before, and again an email So these are the reminder emails that I am sending to the person who has booked a meeting on a particular calendar 2 days before. It's going to send an email that your meeting is coming up in 2 days. One day before, it's going to send another email that's going to say your meeting is tomorrow. And then after that, 1 hour before the meeting, 1 hour before, I'm going to tell them, okay, your meeting is in an hour. So these are the reminders. And something in here. So these are the reminders that the system will automatically send them if somebody books a meeting on this particular calendar. Now, what happens if a person has booked a meeting not 2 days before? There is no margin for 2 days. Like they booked the meeting for January 2nd. Then this email should not go because there is no 2 days time in that. So should this email go? That is should be 1 day. Yeah, that email should go right away. So in our wait time, we told it if the time is passed, then skip all the communication that is till the next wait time. So it's going to skip this step and it's going to skip this step and it's going to check for this one. Now this one gets true because 1 day is left and it's going to send the email. And 1 day prior to the meeting time, it's going to send this email. Now let's say if the meeting is set for today, in like right now for me it's 5:53 p.m. but the meeting is at 9 p.m. Now the system will automatically skip this step, this step, this step, and this step, and it will only send this email 1 day, like at 8 p.m. the customer will receive this email that your meeting is in an hour. So this is how you can also send the reminders from here. You can send the reminders from the calendar as well, but I do recommend setting up like the reminder workflow in the automation for your customers. Now, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask your questions. And there we go. We have covered different types of appointments and different types of reminders, how you can customize your calendars. Do that and take the preview of the calendar. And you can take the preview by clicking on 3 dots, then copying this permanent link and putting it in the browser. And all the setting that you have applied will be shown in here in your calendars. Okay. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. And if you have no more questions, then we can complete this class today, 5 minutes before the ending time. Badri, do you have any question? Oh, that is great. Oh, I forgot. So for your homework, thank you, Badri. I really appreciate that. For your homework, please create one calendar, and it should be for an event that is going to happen on February 5th. And the calendar setting should be like, sorry about that. Okay, so there is an event that's going to happen on February 5th. This is your homework. You are going to create a calendar which will allow your customer to book only for February 5th. And for that particular event, the system needs to send out emails to that person to remind them. And there should be one email that should go out after the event time is passed. So create that and put your scenarios, create a mini video for the scenarios, show us your workflow. If you're doing the reminders through the workflow, if you're doing through the calendar widget, show us that, and show us how you have set up the availability time and everything. That is your homework. I hope that you got everything in here, and I'll see you around on the next Wednesday. See you then. Take care. Goodbye. Have a great day.